Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Rundown, where we talk about 2A news and conservative views. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
Nope, my name is Mike Piwowarski. I come to you live from the East Coast. That makes me the co-host with the most, from the coast with the most, here on The Rundown, 2A views, conservative news. Craig, how was your weekend?
It was phenomenal. Had a great weekend. It was one of those weekends which I rarely get, where I had actually nothing constructive done. Nothing constructive got done. I simply sat around, lounged around, had a good time, ate good food, had some spirits, and relaxed.
Very, very nice, very nice. Yeah, it's good when you have a weekend that you get done exactly what you wanted to get done. Nothing,
which was nothing. Exactly.
Yep. There you go.
How about yourself? How was your weekend?
Good, not too bad. Got a couple of weekend programs in. Did a couple of different Oktoberfest festivals. So all good on this end, sir. All good on this end.
Nice, very nice, very nice. Well, why don't we do it? Why don't we go ahead and just jump right into it then?
What?
Let's go ahead and jump right into it. First, we obviously need to give a shout out to our sponsors.
Let's do that. Let's say hello to our good friends at Hitman Industries. That's hitmanindustries.net, hitmanindustries.net. If you got yourself a rifle in the last 5 years, an AR, you probably already have one of their barrels and don't even know it. Well, now they're direct to the public. You could get yourself a rifle from them. Just go to hitmanindustries.net for your next build or rebarrel the rifle you already have. It's hitmanindustries.net. Let's say hi to our good friends at the California Republican Assembly, fighting the good fight behind enemy lines. Reach out to them, see what you can do to help. And then, of course, if you're looking for some awesome combat gear, some tactical gear, look up our friends at uscombatgear.com.
That's right, folks. These are the people who bring this show to you. They bring us to you so that you can, hopefully we'll bring you to them. So do us a favor, check them out. The links to their websites are in the description of this program. You just got to click on it, go there. If you like what you see, spend some money with them, donate with them, become a member, whatever they are asking you to do, go ahead and do it. And make sure that you tell them that the guys over at The Rundown sent you.
That's us. We're sending you. Go do it.
That would be, that right there would be us. We would be the ones sending you to them.
That right there.
Also, want to encourage you, if you haven't already done so, please make sure that you like, share, subscribe. We all know that, they're trying to use the algorithms to keep word from getting out, the conservative word from getting out, the word about the Second Amendment from getting out. So the best way to fight against the algorithms is for you folks to share with your friends and let them know that you watch and or listen to the program. And that they too can watch and or listen to the program. Wherever you get your podcasts, you can listen to the audio version of the program, but you can also watch the program on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, OpsLens, Spotify, pretty much wherever you get your video content. So check us out and make sure you like, share, subscribe, and encourage your friends to do the same.
That all sounds wonderful. Do what Craig said, folks. Just go ahead and do it.
There you go. See, make it simple. Just get her done. All right, let's jump into today's first story. We all know Fauci is a bit eccentric, shall we say, or self-centered. And he likes to take credit for a lot of things, but there's one thing that he is absolutely positively refusing to take credit for. He has acknowledged that there have been serious negative impacts to children and to their educational process that took place as a result of school closures. But the interesting thing is that while he acknowledges that there were deleterious collateral consequences, Mike, he is saying that they had nothing to do with him, that he had nothing to do with school closures. And I don't know. I gotta call BS on this one.
Yeah, listen, I know we call his name's Dr. Fauci, and we've been calling him Dr. Fakey, but I'm going to start calling him Dr. Shaggy because he's pulling the whole. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. He's just like, hey, Dr. Fauci, we got all these kids that had to stay out of school. They were out for look at your state, Craig. What, over 2 years? You got people still out of school.
About a year and a half.
Some states,
yeah.
Yeah, some states was just a month or two, but and everything in between. But it's clear that developmental issues, education issues, all of those occurred. And now when they come to him, he's like, "It wasn't me."
It's funny because when everything first happened, it was funny because the CDC was not recommending schools be closed. That
Correct.
literally was something that came out of the teachers unions, and the teachers unions pushed it. And the thing was Dr. Fauci didn't say no, we don't need to close the schools. In fact, he was saying we need to lock down. He was pushing lockdowns. Now, was he specifically pushing lockdowns in schools? I don't know that he was, but he was talking about closing everything, including schools. So to say that he had nothing to do with it, I don't know. Like I said, I got to call BS on it.
Yeah, I don't recall the whole speech where he said, I recommend to do a lockdown on everything where we have daily contact with people and people move about, freely, except the place where we daily move about, walk around freely, schools. So
Yeah,
that's it.
I don't recall the time in which he said, "Yeah, all those places except schools."
That's right. That's right. Yeah,
I
it's
mean, he
because
didn't
he
even
did
talk
not.
about the negative potential impact of closing our schools. And now we're knowing that kids have literally lost years of education, and they're trying to push them through schools now as if they hadn't lost anything. And the problem is, by the time they do eventually graduate, they're not going to know as much as they probably would have known had school closures not lasted, like I said, a year and a half in some cases.
Parts of me, Craig, wants to give him credit for, perhaps he looked at it and said, well, my recommendation is we close things for 2 to 3 weeks to flatten the curve. So that won't impact the education so much, but I know that would be untrue because he
Mm-hmm.
didn't care about that. He's all part of the control group that wanted to force a president out and take control the way they have.
Well, it's funny because here, and it's funny because he wants to see. Look, I like this quote. I don't want to use the word mistake, John, because if I do, it gets taken out of context, and you're asking me the question on. You're asking me the question on. We should realize and have realized that there will be deleterious collateral consequences when you do something like that. But here was the thing: he didn't talk at all about the deleterious
Yeah.
collateral consequences when he was telling us to shut the schools down.
Yes, it's again, it's the rewriting of history via
Mm-hmm.
Fauci, via or Shaggy, whatever we're calling him now. This guy is just, yeah, Craig. It's probably been a month since we've seen his name in the newspaper. I'm actually glad for him that he was able to find something else to latch onto and get his name back in the paper. So
Well, because
he needs,
that's really where he likes to see himself is, he
yes,
likes to see his name in the news.
yes, yeah, yeah. And listen, under the next Republican administration, I mean, he's going to find his name in the news too, but it's going to be under, convicted and sentenced will also be in the paragraph.
Hopefully so. Hopefully so. All right, moving right along. Trump has decided that he's going to start playing in some more elections, and one of those elections has to do with right there in the good old Big Apple. There in not well the Big Apple is New York City, but the state of New York, Republican Zeldin. He's currently a representative there. He's currently a representative in Congress, but he's running for governor of New York. And by the way, the numbers have gotten there. They are within almost within the margin of error there in New York. And Trump has come in, and Trump's now backing him. And it'll be very interesting to see what sort of an impact that will have on this race. If anything else, I don't know that anybody who was a Trump supporter who was not going to vote for Zeldin. I can't think of any who would.
Well, and what I think it does though is it motivates the voter to get out on this midterm election. For those that were contemplating sitting home and not doing everything and letting the race run its course, or maybe it's not that close. I think now with Trump's name behind them, they get out of their house, or they get their absentee ballots and they get it done. I'm a visitor to New York, a visitor out to Long Island in the past couple of months, and as well as over the past couple of years, that whole country, that whole everything east of New York City, the Suffolk and Nassau County are huge Trump, counties, and we saw them go red during the last election. I think this is that little extra push to even close that small margin, even close. Because listen, let's face it, Craig, a midterm voter can be politically savvy, but it's still the midterm election. They don't know how to get out of the house. But now that Mac Daddy Trump is telling them, I think they get out and go vote for Led Zeppelin here, or I'm sorry.
Well,
Leo
now, okay,
Zeppelin.
now I have to correct myself because it showed that well, according to the article here on the Hill, the polls, he was about 10 points down in the polls, which, by the way, he's closed dramatically. It's 51% for Hochul, 41% for him, but that was like over a week ago. So I still believe that those polls are closer, and we also know that when it comes to these polls, Republicans are largely underrepresented in these polls. So his support is much vaster than even the polls are showing. And I think you're right. Donald Trump coming out and supporting him is actually going to make a huge difference to try and get people a little more excited about getting out, supporting him, and encouraging others to do the same.
Remember, she's got people in her party bailing on her as well. She's destroying the state in her limited amount of time she's been there. Even the mayor of New York, their Mayor Adams, is calling her out regularly for contributing to the issues that's going on in his city.
The demise of the state.
Yep, exactly right.
No other way to really put it. New York, I think the only people who are leaving, the only state where more people are leaving is California.
Yeah, there was a piece of poll, or not poll, some statistics that came out for last month. Last month, more people left New York and headed to Florida than ever left New York before and headed to Florida. So they're continuing to drive them out of the downstate, to the downstaters in Westchester and the city and Long Island.
Well, just so you know, San Francisco is still leading the nation in terms of people leaving that city, leaving the major metropolitan area. It's in there once again. Some of them are leaving San Francisco, going to other parts of California, but many, many, many are leaving San Francisco and going to other parts of the country. They're going to free America.
Yep.
All right, moving right along. All over the country. Speaking of that, Air DeSantis is getting some new locations, some new destinations for their folks. According to a spokesman for Captain Florida, they are going to also be sending some immigrants or migrants to both Illinois and Delaware. Now, I wonder why he picked Illinois and why he picked. I know why he picked Delaware, but I'm wondering, does he really just have an issue with Beetlejuice, or what's the dealio?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's because when we started to see the mayors and the governors in the Northeast complain, we know that Beetlejuice, she could not stand that she wasn't included in that. And remember, she got into some of that fight. Remember, she got into the fight with the CEO of McDonald's as well, and told him he needed to educate himself. Well, I got news for you, Miss Mayor. You about to get educated from the South. You about to get a couple of plane loads of education coming to you.
He said a couple of plane loads of education coming to you. Well, that's the thing, and they get to now stand up and look what the mean, nasty Republicans are doing, and that's what it's all really about. They just want to be able to talk bad about Republicans because they don't really have anything positive to talk about on their own end, about stuff that they've done.
Yep. It's their standard line. It doesn't matter who they are. Listen, Florida could be sending them bags of cash and they would still complain, like, oh, just 50s, where's the hundreds? That's what you're going to get from them. It doesn't matter what happens. And listen, perhaps Craig, they need some help with their farming. We could send them some of the Pelosi intended farmers, to go up there and help with their crops.
Well, what kind of crops do they have in Delaware?
Oh, in Delaware. Oh, I don't know if they have anything in Delaware. It's just like, oh, hey, look, we're in Delaware.
In Illinois, What's Illinois known for?
Your shootings in Chicago.
Shootings.
They can help. They can help pick up brass off the streets.
There you go. There you go. Send them out to pick up brass off the street there in.
That's it. They're brass farmers. That's what they are. They're brass farmers.
I just don't get it.
Although they're going up there in October and November, and they're coming from South America. They better be ready to freeze their brass off. So
freeze their brass off. Look, I'm still wondering: are these people who are sent to Florida and then sent somewhere else, or are they sending people to the border and then having those people basically get them on planes there before they're sent to Florida and having them sent somewhere else?
We have both.
Okay.
Yeah. You have a mix of both. So, but Craig, if they want to go elsewhere and be prosperous there, who is Governor DeSantis to stand in their way? He's going to help facilitate their dreams to do it in a liberal state.
Right. Sending them to places where they would be more than welcomed. I don't understand what the problem is, because these are mostly places that have passed policies saying that they're welcomed. And Martha's Vineyard, though, admittedly, Martha's Vineyard was not a sanctuary city. It was interesting though. There many of the politicians and bureaucrats who support that actually live and or have vacation homes there in
now. But listen,
Martha's Vineyard.
Maryland, Martha's Vineyard may not be a sanctuary city, but it is a sanctuary city in a declared sanctuary state. And if they didn't want to be a sanctuary city in the sanctuary state, they could have said so, but they didn't. They went right with it, And Craig, this is, if this was math, trying to figure this out, this would be first grade math. You've got governors in 2 southern states that do not, or said, listen, we've had enough. We can't take anymore. Perhaps we should find someplace else to send them. Where could we send these people that we have no place for them and they are not welcome here? I know. Let's send them to a place who has publicly and via their states or counties and city governmental bodies declared that they're a sanctuary city and that those people are welcome here. Craig, we'll send them there. That's what we'll do. This is an easy math problem, except when you actually get there and they're like, well, no. That was, we didn't mean that for real. We were just trying to.
Exactly. No, you, buddy, you hit the nail on the head. Is they didn't really want them. They just wanted to make a political statement. And the problem is that when you make a policy statement, and that's a policy statement, policy statements have they have costs when you actually have to implement the policy. And unfortunately for them, they had Southern governors who were willing to call them on their policies.
Yeah. Listen, I kind of give them a little, all right, you didn't realize it. So their plan was, we're going to declare ourselves sanctuary states for the people coming across the southern border because we're 1,000 miles away from there. What are they going to do? Keep walking? Now they're going to get there, and they'll be, they're never going to make it that far here. Yeah, well, Governor Abbott and Governor DeSantis, like you said, they got the express lane going to get you there now.
Exactamundo. So, hey, deal with your policies.
Yep. There you go.
Oh, okay. This is an interesting one. Now, I don't know exactly how to feel about this. For those of you who do not know who Kanye, or I think it's pronounced Ye is, that's his new name. He is a rapper, fashion mogul, kind of nuts, to be quite honest. Does and says some very, very weird things. Very talented. If you like hip hop, you like rap music. He's very talented. I will give him that. But dude is a bit of a weirdo at times. And, I know conservatives, sometimes when he says something, they want to own it and they want to like him. But then they hear some of the other stuff he says. They're like, ooh, yeah, I don't know if I want to be associated with that guy. Well, he is making a bid to purchase Parler. Now, you might remember Parler. It's kind of the libertarian version of Twitter, only not as good, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, Parler was also the folks who they lost access to their servers because Amazon decided to take them off. They have the Amazon servers. Anyway, they decided to cut them off. So they lost their hosting. They took their whole platform, was taken down for all. Anyway, they're back. And now Kanye is actually looking to buy Parler. A lot of people I know, a lot of conservatives have gone to Parler as once again an alternative to Twitter. I'm not the hugest fan in the world of it, but it's a place where people are gathering. And now it looks like once again Kanye, who is a Trump supporter, who says he's a conservative, although I believe he's a conservative, but who also happens to be nuts, is now going to be owning it.
Well, listen, it's Ye now. He likes to go by Ye. And
okay.
He's clearly let me say a little out there, right? A little out there, but he's a big conservative. He's a friend of the past administration. And he's an entrepreneur is how I describe him at this point. Yes, he got his start, in the music business, but Craig, every day this guy just keeps getting a little stronger, right? A little stronger. He knows what he's got to do. The guy's obviously been successful in what he's doing. He is a little bit of a crackpot, but can we say that about anybody else we've had in office, or anybody we know in office from the past?
I always say there's a fine line between genius and insanity. And many of the people who we know and we consider to be geniuses in one area kind of hop on both sides of that line very often.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's a good thing. I'm on Parler. You're right. Parler will never be what Twitter is, but it is an alternative to go there. If you remember, there was a rumor before the former President Trump got into his own social media platform that he was going to invest or take Parler, and before the Dems went crazy over that. So maybe that's still the backdoor deal. I don't know. Maybe he's an investor in Ye Enterprises here.
Right. It's always a possibility. But now, I guess what prompted him to want to do this was after he was lambasted. He lost his accounts on Twitter and Instagram for some anti-Semitic posts, although I haven't been able to actually find out what it was that he said that was anti-Semitic.
Yeah, I don't know, but knowing the media, it's probably completely misconstrued, like something like they always do, like just take it out of context and attack him and turn him off.
Yeah. So once again, I'm not saying he did say it. I'm not saying he didn't say it. I haven't seen exactly what he said. Matter of fact, if you guys know, you have links to it or screenshots of the comments, do us a favor, put them in the comment section so that share with us so that we can kind of know exactly what's going on. What are some of the things that he had said? But yeah, no, I look at some of the things that in particular the Democrats say, and I just find it that they get away with people on the left, they get away with some very, very hateful stuff. And it doesn't surprise me that we are held to a different standard than they are.
Again, clearly, but once again, when you control 90% of the media, as the liberals do, this is what you get. Although, Craig, you and I have continually pointed out over the past couple of weeks, month or two here, that there are breaks in that liberal media wall. So that seems to be making not I'm not going to say completely turning around, but at least people opening their eyes, having the awakening, so to speak.
Exactamundo. All right, let's move on to our parting shots. Okay, we got this first one. This one, okay, this is the difference between American roulette and Russian roulette. Now, the only difference here is they act as if the Republican ones are going to be fatal. Right? In this case, it's really the Democrat ones that are fatal.
Well, remember, see, in American roulette, the Democrats would that has the capability of killing us all, whereas the Republican rounds will kill the Democrat policies.
There you go. I'm down with that. This next one, I don't know why I find this funny, except this is what I think, if left to his own devices, Joe Biden would be on the campaign trail.
You see, there's things that you can do things about, and there's things that you can't do anything about. And things you can't do anything about, there's no reason to get upset about those things because you can't do anything about them. But there are things you can do, and if you do the things that you can do, and dealing with the things that you want to deal with, then you're doing pretty good because you're dealing with the stuff by doing stuff. But if you just sit around and not doing any stuff because you don't know what to do, because you don't think you can do anything, well, then you're not going to get anything accomplished unless you start doing something. So you should start doing something for the things that you want to do, and then don't worry about things you can't do anything about because you can't do anything about them anyway, so why worry about them? Okay.
That was almost like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris all in one.
Well, yeah, okay. All right. Okay. I get that.
No, you did not find that amusing?
No, I was trying to think at least that Joe's not sleeping, touching little kids anymore. Now he's touching older men.
Okay. On that note, why don't you go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsors?
All right, let's say hello one more time to our good friends at Hitman Industries. That's hitmanindustries.net, hitmanindustries.net. Reach out to them, get yourself all your AR barrel needs taken care of. The California Republican Assembly, listen, they're fighting a good fight behind the enemy lines, and they don't do it without your money. So maybe you want to make a donation, a couple dollar bills, and then, of course, take some more of those dollar bills and head over to uscombatgear.com and get you all of your tactical desire web gear needs.
Exactly, folks. Please remember, once again, support our sponsors because they support us, and we support you. So help us, help you. Help them, help us, help you. There you go.
Yep.
Follow links in the description to this program. And with that, we're going to go ahead and call it a day. We will be back tomorrow on Taco Tuesday.
Yum, yum, yum.
See you then.